A young porpoise makes her way through the shallow waters of her coastal home, trailing closely behind her mother in an effort to learn and pick up on her hunting techniques that she will one day utilize for herself. All is going well until she is suddenly unable to move, trapped by some sort of invisible force. She calls out to her mother, but hears no response in return. She soon has to resurface for air, but is now injured, trapped, and unable to move. This invisible force, which traps her, is a net. Sadly, she will never make it out of this net alive, drowning before the net is hauled out of the water and her body is discarded of as bycatch. Her mother, soon realizing that her calf is missing, calls out to her, but it is already too late. This little porpoise is not the only one of her kind to have suffered this harsh fate, and she unfortunately, if something is not done soon, will not be the last. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Nature's Reality YouTube channel. Today we are here to talk about the most endangered marine mammal in the world, the vaquita. Cetaceans, if you didn't already know, are the incredibly unique and diverse group of fully aquatic mammals consisting of whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Porpoises, which are the smallest group of cetaceans, last shared a common ancestor with dolphins over 15 million years ago. Today there are over 30 species of dolphin but only 7 species of porpoise. And the species we are here to talk about today, the vaquita, is a critically endangered species of porpoise endemic to the Sea of Cortez. The Sea of Cortez, which is the marginal sea located along the Gulf of California, is the only place in the world where the vaquita can be found. This makes the range of the vaquita incredibly limited, and it is a range so small that it is the smallest range of any marine mammal in the entire world. Along with having the smallest range of any cetacean, the vaquita is also literally the smallest cetacean in the world, growing to an average length of only around 4 to 4.5 feet and weighing on average around 90 pounds. Female vaquitas also tend to be slightly larger than their male counterparts. The appearance of a vaquita is also one that is incredibly unique and rather adorable. Vaquitas have a smooth, round head with circular black markings surrounding their eyes and curved black markings surrounding their mouth. Markings which make it appear as if they are constantly smiling. The body of a vaquita is primarily dark gray in coloration, with the exception of their black facial markings and light gray underside. Like other porpoises, vaquitas have no beak and possess spade-shaped teeth. And like many other water-faring species, their body coloration gives them a survival advantage, as their dark gray upper side prevents them from being seen well from above, and their light gray underside prevents them from being seen well from below. The vaquita also happens to be the only member of its family that is found exclusively in warm waters. In addition to this, the dorsal fin of vaquitas have been specially adapted to dissipate heat and help to regulate body temperature. And male vaquitas will tend to have slightly larger dorsal fins than female vaquitas. The diet of a vaquita is very similar to other oceanic creatures of its size, with a diet consisting of small fish, cephalopods, and crustaceans. Vaquitas prefer shallow coastal waters, reaching average depths of anywhere from 30 to 90 feet, where food is abundant and the water is murky. Within these murky waters, vaquitas will utilize their echolocation to help find prey. Vaquitas typically live to an average age of around 21 years old and reach sexual maturity between the ages of 3 and 6. Sadly, these days the vaquita hardly ever reach their full life expectancy, often dying before they are even able to reach sexual maturity. Vaquita females give birth to an average of 1 calf every 2 years, after a gestation period that lasts for around 11 months. And when born, vaquita calves typically weigh around 20 pounds. Vaquitas are social creatures, but typically don't stay in packs of more than 3 members. Like other cetaceans, vaquitas will utilize things like high-pitched whistles to communicate with other members of their species. Vaquitas also happen to be extremely shy creatures, which has made it rather difficult for us to properly study them. And I should also mention that the name vaquita means little cow in Spanish, which is a rather fitting name for this adorable little cetacean. Now that you have learned all about the vaquita, you must learn the most important and rather saddening fact about them. It is the fact that there are estimated to be under 20 of them left in the wild, which makes the vaquita one of the most endangered animals in the world, and the most endangered marine mammal in the world. The vaquita was first discovered and described during the 1950s, and was first listed as an endangered species during the mid-1980s, and then it was listed as a critically endangered species during the mid-1990s. With vaquitas being as rare as they are, and the fact that they have been rare ever since we discovered them, it is incredibly difficult to find and keep track of how many vaquita there are and where exactly they are at any given time. However, despite this difficulty, through the use of passive acoustic monitoring detectors, we have been able to keep a somewhat accurate track of their numbers. Sadly, the numbers and data that we have collected look far from promising, as all numbers point towards and indicate that the vaquita will be extinct very soon, likely by the year 2022. Back in the year 1997, there were estimated to be over 565 vaquita left in the wild, but since then their numbers have been reduced to a fraction of that, with an over 99% decrease being seen from 1997 to present day. The cause for this drastic and rapid decrease that we have seen over the past 20 years comes as a direct result of the illegal fish trade and use of gill nets. Gill nets are nets utilized by fishermen because, hence their name, gill nets trap fish by their gills and are highly effective. In most places, gill nets are banned, but they are still heavily utilized by illegal fishing operations. These gill nets are so bad because they pose a very high risk to large marine life and often catch a lot of additional bycatch that most of the time die as a result of being trapped in a gill net. The vaquita tends to be an animal especially affected by these gill nets, as they are practically invisible in the murky water not only to a vaquita's eye but their echolocation as well, as gill nets are virtually undetectable. It is thought that vaquitas don't only get caught up in these gill nets while simply swimming along, but also when they go after fish or other prey items that have already been entangled in a net. Gill nets don't only kill vaquitas through drowning, but vaquitas can also die due to extreme stress after being caught up in a gill net. Now, why are vaquitas in particular so greatly affected by these gill nets? Well, it is because they share their home with a highly sought after and endangered fish known as the Totowaba. The Totowaba is a relatively large fish, similar in size to that of a vaquita and capable of reaching lengths of upwards of 6 feet. It is this similarity in size between the Totowaba and vaquita that has only made things worse for the vaquita, as the gill nets designed to capture the Totowaba also happen to be perfect for catching the similar in size vaquita. And since the Totowaba is primarily found where the vaquita is found, the vaquita is at an especially high risk. In recent years, the Totowaba has become a hot commodity on the black market, oftentimes being referred to as the cocaine of the sea, due to the ongoing desire for them and the especially high prices that they will fetch for, specifically in China, where it is believed that the swim bladder of the Totowaba carries near magical properties capable of curing several medical ailments such as liver disease and arthritis. And despite the fact that this has never been scientifically proven, and it is likely that these swim bladders carry next to no significant nutritional value or medicinal healing properties, the Totowaba is still highly sought after and oftentimes sold for upwards of $50,000 per fish. And not to mention that the use of gill nets has been banned in the area since 2005, and fishing for the Totowaba altogether has been outright banned by the law since 1975. But it is those who are willing to pay the ridiculous amount of cash for the swim bladders of the Totowaba that continuously fuel this illegal fishing trade. An effort was made a couple of years ago to capture and keep vaquitas in a temporary sanctuary so that they could later be relocated to a gill net free zone. However, this initiative was quickly stopped after one vaquita was captured and then released due to extreme stress, and after another vaquita had sadly passed away while being kept in the enclosure, which was likely due to extreme stress. Unlike dolphins, porpoises are known not to do well in captivity, and a vaquita has never been successfully kept in captivity, so it is honestly not that much of a surprise that this effort did not go very well at all. So while some might think that we could keep the species alive in captivity, it is highly unlikely that we will ever be able to. I should also mention that cell samples were taken from these two individuals and are being kept not only for research but for future use in potential genome sequencing. Shockingly, the Mexican government recently lifted fishing restrictions that prohibited fishing within the vaquita's range. The eradication of these restrictions, which now allow for fishing, put the already extremely vulnerable remaining vaquita population at an even greater risk of extinction. The lifting of these restrictions also means that less enforcement will be put in place within the vaquita's range, making it easier for illegal fishing activities to continue. Now, I would hate to end this video off on such a horrible note, so here are some things that may help to provide you with hope for the vaquita. All of the remaining vaquita appear to be healthy, and some of the surviving vaquita are calves, meaning that they are still breeding and giving birth to future vaquita populations as we speak. New research may also suggest that vaquita females can give birth to one calf every year as opposed to every 2 years, which is good because it means that they can reproduce quicker than we once thought. Non-governmental organizations also continue to operate tirelessly within the vaquita's range, working to get rid of any illegal nets that they come across and freeing any sea life that they find to be trapped in gill nets that are being used by illegal fishermen. Spreading awareness for the vaquita is incredibly important, and the more people that know about the vaquita situation, the more help that can be provided to improve the species' slim chance at survival. Well everyone, that concludes the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I sincerely hope that you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you would like to see me put out more content on this channel. And don't be afraid to let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Any kind of feedback is always appreciated. I will also be linking my Instagram pages down in the comment section below, so be sure to go check those out if you have not already. Also, if you have not already, be sure to check out my collaboration video with Northo2. We made a video on the thylacine together, so be sure to go check that out. The link will be down in the description below. Also, make sure to check out his channel as a whole and subscribe. Alright guys, thank you, and continue to spread awareness for the Vaquita, and let us just hope that this adorable little species of porpoise does not go extinct anytime soon. I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to speak about something like this on the platform that I've been given, and I appreciate you guys watching.